I came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all you gotta do is join our trip. There isn't any cost of membership. All the sailors here are really hip. I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard our trip. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
Duska on the Looska. Duska on the Looska, that means I better get my camera fired up. She's coming. She's coming for me. Better get out of here. All right, there I am. There I am. Just in time. Just in time. Snuck in. And look at this. A beautiful incoming raid from my brothers, my four brothers, really. The 3 beer men and a bird. 3 beer men and a bird. A hawk, to be exact. 55 of them popping in. That is extraordinary. Extraordinary. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Holy Hannah. This better be a show worth remembering. I don't know that I have it to give, but I'm tickled pink to see all these faces. Okay, we're definitely live at Pilled Foxhole, which is wonderful. Let's get a gander at YouTube. And we are live at YouTube. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Going over to Rumble. Rumble. We are rumbling thusly. Rumbling thusly. Rumble. Why is the volume up over there? Turn that down. That explains some of the background noise. Over at D Live, home of Lemon Land and Land Lubbers. Lemon Land and Land Lubbers. Try saying that 4 times fast. Good evening, people. Look at them all. Look at them all. And last but not least, Twitch. Boy, one of these days, if I start adding on like I intend to do, like broadcasting to X and some of the other places, I don't know what I'll do. I really don't. But it is good. Good to see my buddy Matty F&B hanging out there. Says, hey, man, hope all's good on your end. Finally, a day off, and boy, did I enjoy it. As well you should. As well you should, my man. Good to see you. All right. We're twitching that itch, and it feels so good. It feels so good to twitch that itch. Over here in Lemon Land, I'm seeing Bad Zoot. Wonderful to see you, little lady. Donating 5 lemons, no doubt. Thank you. Thank you, little lady. Good to see you. My name is Dee. Oh, my goodness. It has been a minute. How's it going? What are you doing? Brother Rick Carmen, we're live on D Live. Spudley in the house. Peggy Dancer, good to see you. Willie Fixit, of course, giving some ice creams and some lemons. Thank you, Willie. Thank you kindly. So kind of you. Spud in the house. Jayla17 with us. I saw my brother Val Kimber out there. Man, it is shaping up to be a fine, fine evening over there in Lemon Land. Good to have you all aboard. Thanks for popping in. Seriously, what a great group. And did I not see? I mean, I thought first in the door was did I miss her? I could have sworn Lynn Winters was here, but I know that she will be. That much I do know. That much I do know. And thank all of you. Oh my goodness, here come it's an ice cream parlor. I'm hosting Zoso's ice cream parlor. I'm ecstatic. We are definitely live at Rumble. 3 persons rumbling over there. Do you see this 3-finger salute? That's to you 3 people. Love you. Thank you for being there. You rock. And as of yet, it says that there's people there. It says there's people there. They just haven't said hello yet. So that's okay. Whoever you are lurking at YouTube, lurk away. You have my permission. Duska, wave to the lurkers. Wave to the lurkers. Can you see her off in the distance, her glowing eyes? Everybody knows Duska, right? Come on. Yes. Duska has been with me since the very first show, before she even had hair. And of course, the wonderful people, the wonderful, wonderful souls hanging out over at Pilled Foxhole, the home of free speech in America, folks. If you haven't had a chance to go over and start a free account, free for nothing, Pilled.net is the way to go. Pilled.net, once you are signed up there with a free account, doesn't cost you a thing. And no, they do not spam your inbox with silly messages like all the rest of them. Then you can slip on over to the foxhole.app and live your life happily ever after over there. So, we are definitely live here. Let's get a gander at who's hanging out. Who is hanging out at the home of free speech? Wow, you can actually see the corner of my screen. I should adjust that. Hang on. I want to make sure we see this bell, because this bell is lets me know I'm on the ship. I've got to somehow get that. I have to get that wheel in front of me. It's coming. The day is coming where I will have that wheel right in front of me. Just big changes are coming to the mystery ship, I promise you. All right, here they come pouring in. Pouring in. Due diligence in the house. My dear sister, Steph, Artist61. Steph, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your input. It really, really helps. Really helps during the show last night, we're going to talk about it. We experienced some issues, and Steph was right there saying, Zo, man, what's going on, dude? It really does help. Maddie's mom is with us. How you doing, little lady? Dixie gifted the phone. Much love, Zoso. Wonderful to see you, Dixie, with 2 X's. Good to see you. I'm hoping all is well down there in Alabama. My little friend of mine, Carrie Lake, in the house, stopping in to say hello. Hope all is good down in Florida way. Wonderful to see you, Carrie. Have a great week if I don't see you a little later. Girl Patriot, of course, hailing from Texas. Thank you for your support of this show. Joel Altman. That's it. Joel Altman. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Who else we have hanging out? Purposeful. What is happening? And Zoom. Good to see you, buddy. Always good to freaking see you, my man. You always put a smile on my face. Jazz Bar 73. Now right there. My brother Jazz Bar, that guy, we go so far back. Right back to when I was only on YouTube. Jazz Bar was one of the original freaking sailors right there, like one of the first 10 people to jump on the boat. Great to see you, brother. Hope everything is good in your world. Raynoth is with us. And then just a host of people that came over from the 3 Beer Men. Just, man, Spazzo, Raisin Kane, Quintesson, Judas 69er. Look at all these incredible people. So wonderful to see you all. Thank you to Bruce and, of course, Cosmac and my dear brother, the alien, Hang 10 alien surfer. Classical chick. Good to see you. Did you guys all see? Did you all see Cosmac last night on the show? Let's talk about that. Rooster. Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything is freaking groovy. And Crazy Chuck with a K, my dear brother Chuck. I'm glad you rolled in because tomorrow is the day, folks. After the last, I'm not kidding you. For the last 12 weeks, we've been having these weird. Ever since we got that 12 inches of snow, the Oregon weather has just it's been so bizarre. Absolutely so bizarre. Freezing cold one day, scrape the ice off your windshield in the morning. And then 62 in the afternoon. And the weatherman should be shot. He really should be shot because they're telling us things like, oh, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow, and it's pouring rain. Or vice versa. They tell us it's going to be pouring rain, and it turns out to be the most gorgeous sunny day. I'm in a little bit of I don't mind this. I've done it my whole life. But, from my front door to the front door of my job site is about, on a good day, if every wind at my back, it's like 52 minutes, okay? It's a hike. It's a hike each and every morning, so I got to leave early because I have to be the first guy there, first guy to open the doors, first guy to do all this stuff. And I've been just itching to ride that motorcycle. All right? There's two of them over here. Where are they? Third cam. Yes, there's a third cam. And you can see my babies right there. They are ready to roll as much as I am. They are ready to roll as much as, and we got today, right now it is 61 degrees and sunny. Tomorrow projected to be 74, and then Tuesday 82 degrees. I don't know what to do with myself. It's they always say that March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb. Well, it's funny. March did it this year in all of about a space of about 48 hours. 48 hours. We went from frozen, slip on your ass, bust. Just earlier this week, one morning, I came out. It had lightly rained that night before, so my deck was all wet. And then I slipped out in my slippers to go, I like to fire up my car early. So I go out to turn it on and just let it warm up for 7 to 10 minutes. And as I went to come back in the house, man, I was break dancing, okay? It was amazing that I didn't go down. Absolutely. If somebody had videotaped that, it would have been a YouTube sensation. Just fantastic. But gosh, very, very busy day today. I didn't get to see any of Due Diligence's show. I didn't get to see not even a second of Three Beer Men. 7 or 8 years ago, I built a series of storage units right down the road here, just on the other side of the freeway. And I've said this before. When the job was all over, there was literally almost an acre of metal left over. Every time the guy couldn't find something, he just ordered another truck. And they just kept bringing material, more material, more material, more material. The icing on the cake for me, the icing on the proverbial cake of that job was I could see that the company that was building the place they weren't going to finish in time. They had the buildings erected. They had the roofs on. They had the insulation in the walls. They had the windows installed, but they were nowhere near getting ready to put the siding on. And there were 3 enormous buildings, 2 of them 2-story, multiple colors, different color schemes, bands, all this fancy ass metal. And I said to my company, look, we better jump in and us do the siding and let those guys just finish hanging their doors, and otherwise this storage unit, we are not going to turn over on time. So that's what we did. And my company took over the siding, and we did all of the siding on all the buildings, and we finished up just about the same time those guys finished up, and we made our turnover date. But the icing on the cake for me, and this is back when I had a truck that had a rack on the top, a lumber rack. It's 7:30 at night on a Thursday. It's dark. It is pitch black dark. And I'm the last guy there. Everybody's gone home 2 hours earlier. I'm still filling out the last of my reports and my safety stuff and all the crap that a superintendent has to do, Yeah, they bog you down with safety stuff, daily inspections of forklifts and daily inspections, just everything, potential job hazard analysis sheets and all that. I hear 3 blasts from a semi truck, and I'm like, this can't. I open up my door to see a semi, and this guy has a load of 24-foot long siding, metal siding, 3 feet wide, and there's a stack of it like an inch and a half thick, which is, I don't know, 50, 60 sheets. This stuff is worth about $300 a sheet. A sheet! And I walked out and I said, hey, dude, I don't know if you made a mistake or not. Are you in the wrong place? Because, nope, this is, he reads off the job name. I said, yeah, you're here. He goes, yep, they ordered this. It's paid for. I'm just the delivery guy. I don't work for the company. I'm just dropping off. And I said, well, we don't need it. Have a look. All of the siding is done and the whole job, we don't need it. He goes, look, man. He hands me the piece of paper. Sign right here. Take it off my truck. This isn't mine. I'm out of here. I have to go pick up a load and get back to freaking Vancouver. So I picked up the load. I went and got my freaking forklift at 7:30 at night. I pick up this load of metal, and as he drives out from underneath it, I just rolled right over and I put it on top of the rack of my truck. And that was the first load of metal that I brought home. And I started cleaning up everything in that field, and it sat in my yard for years. And now it is all standing up beautifully in a 20 by 40, 18-foot tall storage unit that is just, it's phenomenal. But one of the gimmies was that the guy that I built the storage units for down there, really a nice man, his plans were rather vague. I'm not saying that the architect didn't put a lot of time and energy into it. I'm just saying that the architect fell short of the final details. I mean, I pointed out a million things to this guy, like, hey, man, this is your front door, right? Yeah. I said, well, when you walk up to your front door, if you ever want to get in at night, wouldn't it be nice to have maybe a light above this door and perhaps a finished ceiling? And he looks up at the pan deck and he goes, oh, man, you're right. I said, well, there's more than that. I said, let me share a few more of my ideas with him. And I just gave him a laundry list of 20 things that needed to be finished. They were never addressed on the plans. By the time we were done, out of the 20 things I shared with him, we ended up doing 18 of them. And he was extremely thankful to me for my follow-through. I want to deliver a finished product, it's not me being special. It's me being normal, as far as I'm concerned. He was so grateful to me. He said, you know what, man? You have been so helpful to me. I want you to have the pick of the litter. He goes, any storage unit in this entire complex, you get it free for a year. No questions asked. I don't care which one you want. It's all yours. Well, it turned out that I had, just about every tool I owned down on this project. It took about a year and a half to complete. I had rollaway my rollaway gang box, and I had every ladder I own and every shovel, spade, post hole diggers, my compressors, my nail guns. I mean, everything I owned was. And I'm like, you know what? That's awesome. So I put all of my tools and everything in this storage unit. And it meant I didn't have to drag everything back home and clutter my garage or clutter, And I thought it was great. This is awesome. Well, you know how quickly a year passes. A year goes by pretty quickly. And all of a sudden he reaches out to me and says, hey, just so you know that storage unit that you got, yeah, those things go for about $300 a month. But I like you. I'm going to give it to you at half price. So I'm like, yeah, all right. $150 a month? That's still better than me jackassing all that stuff back home. And the nice thing about it is it was huge. It was like 10 by 30. So I had my stuff spread out all over the place, not piled up on. It's not like I had to dig things out to get to one little corner to get some. Everything was neatly spread wide open because I had this enormous storage unit. I thought, man, that's the bomb. All right, I'll pay the $150 a month. Well, you know how I just said how quickly a year goes by? It's been 6 years. 6 years that all of my stuff has been sitting in a storage unit. And the price went up a couple of times, and so did my special rate. So I think it was a year or so ago, once it finally eclipsed $300 a month, I said, forget this. I can't afford this anymore. And I went down and I sorted. By then, I had brought more personal things down there. I started storing my personal shit. I mean, boxes of clothes and jackets I never wear and suit and tie and all that stuff. I had everything down in this storage unit. And finally, I said, that's it. I'm going to downsize my life. And Mrs. Zoe and I went down there and we went through everything. And as difficult as it was to just take stuff to Goodwill and just hurl some other stuff away, you got to do it. You got to do it. Now, hang on a minute. What am I missing? My name is D. Something's going on with D. I need to know this. She just moved. Well, I'm trying to find out what's going on with D here. Anyway, we're going to, for whatever it's worth, D. Oh, she's just sharing that she met. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I know it's been a while since we saw you. I thought maybe something was horribly wrong and you needed prayers and all that. Glad to know you're just happy to have you here. Okay, so back to my story. Mrs. Zoe and I went down and went through all my stuff, and I downsized my world, and I told them, you know what? I need a new storage unit. I want it to be half the size of what I have because I can only afford $150 a month anymore. So they got me into a smaller unit, and I threw away half of everything I owned, and I kept just the bare minimums, things like my compressor, my big giant, construction compressor, and my pressure washers, and just all the stuff I just don't have room for yet. I mean, I will once my storage unit here is finished, but it's not finished yet. I got a call from them probably 2 months ago, and they said, hey, we're sorry to tell you that rates are going up again. I said, well, what's the rate going to be? That'll be $235 a month. I said, man, you know what? That's it. I got to move out. I appreciate it very, very much, but, for a 15 by 15, 200 and $35 a month. No, and I'm not doing that. I'm moving out end of month. Well, that was 2 months ago. Today, I went down with a trailer, and all by myself, I hauled out half of what I own, half of what I have, and I brought it and I put it in the back half of my new shop. At least there, it's dry. It's out of the weather. Is it neat and organized? I still have more. I mean, I got Mrs. Zoe's she's got a 250 Suzuki motorcycle down there. I've got, her clawfoot table and dining table and leaves. I've got I have a guitar. I have a guitar that was signed by Led Zeppelin. It's down there. I got all my old stereo equipment. I've got all my albums. I still have some stuff in there that I need to get out. And I've got one more weekend left. And that's going to be next Sunday. Something happened to me over the course of the past 2 weeks. Out of nowhere, my right heel, the heel of my right foot, started hurting me. My fancy red, white, and blue boots that I wear all the time. First, I thought it was that. So I stopped. There's a Rite Aid right across the street, and I got some of those Dr. Scholl's, those gel pads, Are you gelling? Are you gelling? I put some of those in there, and it mildly alleviated the pain, but still hurts like hell. Well, today, making 600 trips in and out and in and out and in and out of that damn storage unit, walking down those hallways with my boxes and all that crap, my foot right now, I can barely, I'm not shitting you, I can barely walk. There's whatever the hell is going on with this right heel, I am paying for it. And I suppose I only have myself to blame, because years and years and years ago, in a somewhat drunken stupor, I was backing my motorcycle up, and I lived on a very steep hill, and I went too fast, and I bounced my rear tire into the curb, which caused my bike to lunge forward, and it fell over in my mildly inebriated state. And back then, the bike I had cylinder heads that stuck out sideways, right? And that came down, and it smashed my right ankle, and it smashed it to smithereens, broke it in 11 pieces. And I was so hammered. I knew I messed something up, and it hurt like hell to walk on it. But I went in and I crawled into bed, and I figured, fuck, I'll deal with this in the morning. And thank God I was that smashed. Thank God I was that stinking smashed. When I woke up in the morning, my ankle was the size of a girl's softball, okay? It was huge. It was black, it was purple, and now I couldn't put any weight on it. So I'm hobbling around on one foot. I drove myself to the hospital, and the next thing you know, I'm visiting a surgeon, and he put this cast on it, and he said, now, this is not a walking cast. This is not a walking cast. I do not want you walking on it. You have to support it, stay off of it 100% for 8 weeks. Well, I had to move 3 weeks later, and I couldn't get anybody to help me. So I took a hacksaw. And I sawed my cast off. And needless to say, when that doctor saw me next for my next checkup, he cussed me up and down. He threw me out of his office and said, when you're 60 and you can't walk, I want you to remember this conversation. It's funny, I'm remembering it vividly right now. Vividly. Son of a gun. The guy might have known what he was talking about. He might have known what he was talking about, that damn doctor. Anyway, so here I sit, foot just driving me to drink right now, and this is just Coke. There is no Captain Morgan in it. The Captain Morgan is all gone. Just me and my Coke, and you people, you fine people. We're going to be back in just a minute. Following this video, a lot of interesting things to talk about, but I want to hear from you, and that's the important thing, is I want to hear from you. I'll see you on the other side of this message right here from this crazy mystery ship guy. Let's ride.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? 'Cause we never know where we'll go next.
And, of course, once again, this is the time. This is the time where I like to just take a second and thank the beautiful people. I got to tell that person I'll call them back. They're calling me. They're calling me right in the middle of the show. This doctor was right. Actually, in a little bit, I'm going to be opening up the call lines, Suzanne. I'll give you the line to my telephone, my landline, because my cell phone just gets terrible reception here. Terrible. I would answer it and I wouldn't be able to hear you. Anyway, where was I? I was thanking the beautiful people who come and just hang out with me and, do the things that they do. We all just hang out together, and there are people that donate ice creams and lemons and all kinds of crazy things, and I appreciate you so very much. It means the world to me. The truth is, one of the best ways that you can help this little teeny tiny show, folks, is just to tell somebody about it. Post it in your YouTube or, I'm sorry, your Facebook or your Gab or your Truth Social or wherever you share your thing. Hey, go watch this crazy guy. Go watch this crazy biker guy. You got to see him. Our little show is growing. It is. Not by leaps and bounds, but it is growing, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Yeah, as I sit here right now, just seriously, my foot is throbbing. I can feel every single heartbeat in that damn thing. Mrs. Zoe seems to think it's that. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce it. What is it? Plantar fasciitis or something? I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's just calling to see if my fridge is running. I think you're right. All right, I got a trick question for you. Right here. I want to see if I can. Let me see if I can find this. It's right here. There it is. Right there. Right there. I want to see who's paying attention. I have played this so many times. I have played this video so many times. I want you guys to tell me who this is, okay? We all know who this is. This is Quick Draw McGraw. Quick Draw McGraw. What is this guy's name? Come on now. Put it in the chat if you know this guy's name. What is his name? I want to see who knows. I'm checking the chats. That's it. Plantar fasciitis? Anyway. Yeah, that stuff, Steph. That stuff right there. Oh, you're so close. You're so close, LT57. You are so close. What is the name of... Yes! D. Dowd! Baba Louie! It's Baba Louie. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I just wanted to see if anybody remembered it. Baba Louie. Baba Louie the Burro. Quick Draw McGraw and Baba Louie. My dear brother Rick Carmen offered a piece of his brilliance that he is known for. He said, anybody who has a storage unit, the best thing you can do for yourself. What did he say here? What did he say? He said, when it comes to storing your items, whatever your monthly rent is, spend that money on alcohol and burn your junk. And Rick, you are so freaking right. We are laughing now. I mean, it's not a laughing matter. I guess years and years ago, before Mrs. Zoe and I ever met, she and her husband, when their marriage broke up, I think he got the house, she got the furniture. Something like that. So she, of course, left Los Angeles and moved up here and brought everything she owned with her. And her stuff has been sitting in a storage unit up the road here. Dare I even tell you? She moved here in 2006. So it's 2025. 19 years her stuff has been in storage. So what was once a brand new refrigerator is now just a hunk of junk. And although she has some very nice things like a grandfather clock and some, very precious items, the fact is that probably 80% of those boxes are really just junk. at this point. Junk. I mean, if it's books, give them to the library. If it's clothes, give them to, I mean, even the clothes, even if they were in absolute mint condition, they're so far out of style that even the homeless people won't wear them. And that's not the bad part. That's not the bad part. The bad part is the math, okay? Let's just do the math. Let's just do the math briefly, okay? 19 years times 12 months times, I think she pays. Now, she's got a good deal. She got a good deal, and because she's been there so long, they haven't raised her rent, but I think it's something like $120 a month. That is $27,360. $100 at a time. $27,000. Whatever is in that storage unit, she could have bought it brand new 3 times over. Isn't that? It's just, yeah, I don't even want to think about it. Thank God I've only been paying on this thing for like 2-3 years now. 4 years. Shit, 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with my junk. My old junk is exactly it. It's my old junk, and man, I don't need it anymore. The albums I want to keep, and the turntables and the power amps and that kind of stuff, yes. I do want to keep that. But everything else is going out the freaking window, man. Out in the window. I'm getting a dumpster here, and I'm going to load that motherfucker. I'm going to load that thing up. Yes, bad Zoot. Plus the interest that wasn't earned on that money. Can you imagine? Oh, man. $27,000 in storage fees. Holy crap. I hope, yeah, how many spiders? Safety net, you should see, there's rat turds down there, okay? Man, I don't even want to, oh, God almighty. All right, so now we're getting over to the painful part of tonight's program. The painful part of tonight's program. I don't know how many of you had the opportunity, but for the last, I don't know, at least the last 4 weeks, I was hawking, man, I was hawking last night's show, trying to milk it for all it's worth. I even called into the Quite Frankly program on Friday night to try to invite even more people. And I will say, last night on the Foxhole, on the Coffee Talk with Sandra channel, when we hosted the Foxhole Squares, it seemed like it was just a dream come true. We all have to convene like 45 minutes early on our Zoom call because Sandra has to one by one do screenshots and then shrink it down and capture like just Frank and load him in the second square, and then capture just Craig and load him in the fourth square, and just Joey, and over and over and over. And then, I mean, it's a process. And then she's got to set all the mic levels and all that. And then we got to go over the rules. Please do this. Please don't do that. And it's an ordeal. But in the meantime, you know, you got 9 people who haven't seen each other in quite some time. It was really interesting to see, you know, Frank and Joey and Brad and Craig all interacting. Some of those guys hadn't talked to each other in, you know, in excess of a year. So it was a great time. And the interesting thing from my perspective, okay, when we are producing the show, when we are in the middle of doing the show, all right, I am not looking at the feed. The only time I go over and I look at the feed as to what is going up on the air is at the end of every round when I read off who was kind enough to donate Go Pills. But especially as the host, it is impossible for me to do any kind of reading of the chats. Now, every now and then, I'll sneak a glance at it, like when contestant and Square are talking, I might glance over. And last night, I was pained to look over and see some of the comments going on saying, man, you guys, I love this show, but I can't watch something when I can't hear it. So I'll see you later. And I'm looking over and I start looking at some of the other comments, and they were saying, anyway, I understand we had a tremendously difficult broadcast last night. But I have good news. I have good news for you. Now, anybody who has seen the show, all right, can imagine. Look at this little production of mine right now, right? I got one camera. I got two other cameras, one looking at my motorcycles and one aiming over my shoulder, but that's pretty much it, okay? There's no magic to this broadcast right here. It's me and a mic. And there's a great many people who have just that, me and a mic. They might bring in people from, they might do an interview each and every night. But again, one other person, all right? And now there are panel shows out there where consistently every night they might have 4 to 5 people Zoom in. But the undertaking that is the Foxhole Squares is rather unique in that it couples a Zoom call with 14 people, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I'm sorry, 13 people. 13 people on a Zoom combined with this unbelievable OBS system that Sandra has built with her own 2 hands. And I'll be honest with you, man, the last few weeks, going back and watching the replay the next day and finding that it's doing what we call chipmunking. We spoke about this very problem a week ago. And Thursday night we did a test. We thought we had alleviated it. We put bigger RAM in her computer, in her tower. We went from 16 megabit to 64. And she has a gaming laptop that she now uses as a slave to her tower. So she let the laptop run the Zoom call, and then just ran a line over to the main tower where she ran OBS. And we thought, okay, that's taking the load off of her computer. Last night, when we experienced some really difficult technical difficulties, the poor girl, man, she was like, after the show, she was really kind of disappointed. And I'm like, kid, look, it's just another hurdle. How many hurdles have we crossed so far? Well, a wonderful thing happened last night. A very wonderful thing happened after the show. One of the guys on the panel, a guy by the name of 451 Actual, who runs the No Prisoners podcast. This kid, he's probably closing in on 50, 45 anyway. Very, very intelligent young man, knows computers freaking inside out. And we got under the hood last night of Sandra's computer, and this guy went through all of the minutia deep in her OBS system. And he said, "What's your frame rate? She goes 6,000. He's like, "Oh my God, dial that thing down." So, man, we brought down the frame rate. We brought down the bit rate. We brought down the audio bit rate. We fine-tuned and tweaked and massaged that freaking computer of hers. And by the time we were done, her computer is running so smoothly right now that, I mean, we were all of us, we were amazed. They said, "Zoe, lift your arm up." So and I go like this. And you could see in real time, my arm go up and down in her Zoom page. It's like light years. And we sat there when we were done, and I said, I sure wish we had asked these questions 5 or 6 weeks ago. But you know what, man? Everything happens for a reason. So I'm convinced that it's no, it's not a bandwidth issue. She has 900 up and 900 down. She's got the most smoking internet speed you could ever hope for. Yeah. Anyway, 451, he sussed it out. He figured it out. He dropped her frame rates and her bit rates. And I mean, last night when we were done, she started playing the videos that are like the break videos and things like the secret square. You know, when a person's a secret square, and you hear the music and you see the lights and all the streams and the confetti dropping down. Well, I never knew there was confetti. I never could see it. It's because it was all jumbled up in there, and the way he was describing it is that the computer was working so hard to make the audio catch up with the video that that's when you hear my voice sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. When we were done last night, everything was working optimally. I mean, perfectly. So we're going to do another test. We're going to do another test this either Wednesday or Thursday night. We're going to get, I don't know, Sandra's just going to open up a stream and she's going to ask everybody and their dog who's watching, please jump on our Zoom. Jump on our Zoom. We're going to have just a big old Zoom party, and we're going to put that freaking thing through the motions, because this next coming week on the Foxhole Squares is what we call anonymity night. There are some broadcasters out there who have never, ever, ever put their face on the screen, and they prefer it that way. They just don't want to do it. And so we said, well, they need to be able to play too. So this next coming week, the 4 visiting guests are people who have never shown their faces. It's going to be Duppy. It's going to be Matrix Codebreaker. It's going to be Omazon. And this last guy, he has shown his face. I have seen him. But for the most part, he typically doesn't. That's Drunk Pinata. So those will be our visiting guests. And then what's even cooler is that the contestants this coming week are also two people who have never shown their face on camera. That is Ghost Pepper and Wild Irish Rose. So I'm telling you, folks, although we have had some rough go-arounds the last few weeks with the Foxhole Squares, I really think we finally dialed the damn thing in, and it has been, it's been a work in progress.
Access code.
What the hell? What the hell's going on around here? That is the strangest thing ever. I got to say, it's a pretty significant undertaking to produce an entire television show on a single computer. It takes a lot of guts, and I'm really, really impressed with my friend Sandra. She has done such a remarkable job, and the funny thing about it, and it's a difficult thing, is from our perspective inside of the Zoom call, everything appears to be running smoothly until such time as like her OBS crashed. that did happen. And so we started over right at the beginning of the show. It was really frustrating because at least on our end, it all looks like it's working. You know, from our perspective, we're just going through the questions, going through the answers, you know, inserting a laugh track, and everything appears to be working. And then the next day, when you go back for me, when I go back the next day and I try to watch what was put online, only to find that it was missing audio and frozen video, and oh my goodness, it's a bit of a heartbreak because I've got to tell you, Sandra and I work extremely hard on this show. We have every Thursday night, we have a pre-production meeting. I mean, right here in front of me, right? These are the people who are going to be joining us on March 29th, April 5th, April 12th, April 19th, April 26th. We're booked 5 weeks in advance, 6 weeks in advance. You know, we always try to get a female contestant, a male. And then there's the questions and all that, and then the loaded question. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to do this. So to put all that work in on the front end, only to have it dive bomb on you the night of the big show is God, it's painful. It is painful. I want to read some of the comments here because I know some of these people watched the show last night, and I just want to see what you guys are saying. Like, was the audio shit? Was it almost watchable? Daily Insanity said, is Sandra's computer going to be able to handle it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Artist61 says, look, she's trying to do something that has never been done before. There will be bumps in the production. You are so right. Safety Net said, couldn't see it this is all stuff I need to know, people. This is what the information I am trying to garner. Couldn't see it very well either. Wow. Okay. This is the kind of info that I need to know. Because believe me, folks, we want it. Crazy Chuck said, all it did for me was loop. Damn it. Wow. Amazing. Willie says it sucked till the end, then it was okay. TL Spud said it was much better on the third go. Okay, this is all good information. All good information. Considering the lib videos he has to watch out of his show, I'm assuming very dry. Well, folks, this is all really, really good information. All right, good. Well, these people, you are funny. Para Warrior Girl said, I had to leave. The audio and video were all mixed up. I hear you. I hear you, Para Warrior Girl. I mean, I personally, I suffer from what is called, there used to be an old video on it, short attention span theater. You know, what was that? Comedy Central from years and years ago. Yeah, if I'm trying to watch something and it is something that is, you know, important to me, or something that piques my interest, something that is a hobby of mine, or something that I'm trying to learn more about, you know, it could be anything from doing the T-shirts to tie-dyeing or whatever. If I'm trying to learn something and the video I'm watching is stopping and starting and stuttering and audio doesn't match the vid, I don't do very well in those situations. I have about a 30-second attention span, and if it doesn't just gel, I'll see you later, baby. That's just the way it is. So I don't blame anyone who who hung in there and tried their best. But, man, it was really rough the first half. You basically couldn't understand 50%. This is exactly what I need to know, TL. The replay was a great show, except some sound issues. Pilled wouldn't allow me to watch live. That's interesting. Interesting. Wow. All right. Well, Willie said, but I have to say the end of the show worked. You're talking like the last round? Now you've piqued my curiosity, Willie. You've really piqued my curiosity. Bear with me, folks, as I pull something up here. All right, let's get a look at this. Let's get a gander at this right here. Come on, load up, baby, load up. Man, it doesn't. It's taking its sweet time loading up. Come on. I'm trying to load Sandra's page on Foxhole so I can. All right, let's just do a little refresh, and there it is. And there it is. Okay, so right here in front of me, I have the Foxhole. I've got Sandra's show. I'm going to pull it up over here, and I'm going to watch the last. I'm going to attempt to watch the last round. Oh, I see what's wrong. I see what's wrong. Oh, my goodness. I am a dunderhead. I'm a freaking dunderhead. I really am. Let's do this. Let's do this. Wow. I'm pulling up Sandra's show from last night, okay? I'm putting it on full stream. I'm going to fast forward to the very end of the show and hit play. Now, I don't seem to have any volume. Was that the problem last night? Was that the problem? Was there was no volume? There was no sound? The hell? I'm fascinated by this. Normally, each and every week, look, I'm someone who gives a shit, all right? And I'm definitely, having worked for 10 years in television, I'm acutely aware of the difference between a good production and a bad production, and do not want to be affiliated with a bad production. I strive to put my best foot forward at all times. So when Sandra and I are, like I said, when we really try to get the stars to align, and then it's an overcast evening on us, it's not any fun. It really isn't. So normally Sunday mornings I will go back and watch the show, but I was so busy today with trying to move out of my storage unit and get everything back up to my house that as of yet, I have not had the opportunity to go back and watch this show, but I'm going to. Folks, the entire reason I brought this up was I don't want you to give up on us. Don't give up on us. we're finding out. We're finding out what it is. All right. I at this point, I feel really, really good about what we will be serving up next Saturday because last night when everybody departed the Zoom meeting and it got down to just me and Sandra and 451, he said, Sandy, let me ask you a few questions. And he just started rattling stuff off. And she would answer the question. He'd say, take that number and drop it down to this. And what do you got over here? He goes, oh, my God, you're trying to – he goes, you're pumping out the max that your computer can do. And he said, Foxhole is incapable of attaining those kinds of speed. He goes, you're making your computer work so hard. He goes, drop it down. And he did. He tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. And when he was done, we did a little test stream. We did about a 10-minute test stream, and she went through and loaded, and her computer was like, it was like greased lightning. I mean, she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So she was elated, very, very happy last night. I wanted to take this time to just thank everybody who has been, hanging in there with us and showing up anyway and still donating. And even though it's been a tremendously difficult thing to watch, dang it. Thank you for hanging in there with us. And thank you for all the people who had texted me along the way and said, so, your audio's going crazy. What's going on? We appreciate your help. We really, really, really do. It's a tremendous undertaking. That's all I can say. It is difficult. It is difficult. There's nothing easy about it, but I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it, folks. We're going to dial it in one way or another. I'm also very pleased to say this. I don't know how many people are aware. But the very premise of the show, the Foxhole Squares as an idea was that was something that Greenbeard expressed an interest in doing a show like that. And I guess he and Sandra over the course of the last couple of years, had talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And finally, she took the bull by the horns and started, figuring out how to piece it together on her OBS. She basically created the whole thing in her broadcasting software. It's nothing worth repeating, but there's been some speculation that there is some difficult feelings out there, and I spoke with Greenbeard today on the phone. Just a fantastic guy, old Mr. Harvey, and I think you'll be seeing him as one of the guests on the Foxhole Squares sometime very soon. So let's just leave it at that, okay? Anybody who had any questions or was wondering, I think you'll be seeing Greg as one of the Foxhole Squares very soon, and I feel strongly in saying that. So I have to tell you, folks, I'm in a significant amount of pain. So I'm going to wrap this one up. My foot's killing me. My foot is killing me, but I really, really, really needed your feedback here. Okay? Man. Yes, all of you who gave me some feedback tonight on what was going on with the audio and video. It means a lot to me. This is all very, very pertinent and good information that I need to bring back for our, like I said, we're going to have another test this coming Wednesday night or Thursday night. We are going to do one more test, and damn it, we're going to get this thing as smooth as a hot knife through butter. So I will say this. Anybody who has ever considered being a contestant but thought, Oh man, I don't have a computer. I don't have I don't have a camera. I don't have a webcam. If you have a phone, if you have a smartphone, you can be on the show. You can be a contestant on the show. If you are someone who prefers to never show your face, you enjoy your anonymity, we can accommodate you. And we will just put up your little, whatever it is, whatever picture you want to put up there. You'll see this coming weekend that our 4 visiting stars and both of our contestants, none of them use a camera. So please don't let that intimidate you. If you would otherwise love to be part of it, by all means, reach out and say, Zo, make me a contestant. Make me a freaking contestant. If you have a cell phone, you can be a contestant. Yes, you can. That's all you need. Don't need a tower. Don't need a giant computer. You don't need a webcam. You got everything you need right here to be a contestant. So, Zoso at protonmail.com. Zoso at protonmail.com. Send me an email and say, Zo, make me a contestant. And I promise you, we're going to get this thing dialed in, okay? I'm going to go get off my foot. My foot is absolutely just freaking killing me now. Killing me right now. I'm out of here, people. I am out of here. I can't get my foot up fast enough. So we will see you Wednesday night. Wednesday night, folks. Wednesday night is going to be the platform challenge, okay? Somebody is going to be wearing the crown that YouTube is currently sporting. This coming Wednesday night will be the platform challenge. Bring your noodles. I look forward to seeing you. Aloha. Have a great freaking week ahead, people. Your brother Zo is just, man, I got to hang it up. My foot is just driving me to freaking drink right now. We will see you all on the flip side. Have a great week, people. I freaking love you lots. See you around the bend.